Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt like you needed to leave? Or stepped into a quiet place with nature all around and suddenly felt more alive than you had in months? You're not imagining it. There's something real happening here, and it's been affecting your mood, your energy, and even your life choices without you knowing it. You're not here by accident. The algorithm didn't randomly show you this video. Your consciousness is being pulled toward a truth that governments, corporations, and even most spiritual teachers were hiding from you. While millions scroll past surface-level content, you've been magnetically drawn to uncover the Earth's most guarded secret, a living, breathing consciousness grid that's been manipulating human awareness for millennia. The ancient practice of geomancy, literally reading the Earth, isn't just about divination. It's about recognizing that you're living inside a planetary computer, where every mountain, river, and stone circle acts as a consciousness amplifier. The elites have known this for centuries, strategically placing their power centers along these energy highways while keeping the masses ignorant and spiritually disconnected. What I'm about to reveal in shocking detail is something they desperately don't want you to discover. Certain locations on Earth can literally reprogram your DNA, unlock dormant psychic abilities, and connect you directly to cosmic intelligence. There's a reason why every major religious site, ancient monument, and modern government building sits on these exact coordinates. It's not coincidence, it's conspiracy. The location you're sitting in right now, it's either accelerating your spiritual evolution or keeping you trapped in lower consciousness. And most people will spend their entire lives never knowing which one. If you can feel the truth vibrating through these words, if something deep inside you is screaming, "Yes," hit that subscribe button immediately. Comment below with the most mysterious location you've ever visited, because what I'm about to share next will completely shatter everything you believe about reality, consciousness, and your true spiritual potential. Why every ancient civilization spoke to the Earth. Your ancestors were never truly lost. They had something we've forgotten, a direct phone line to the Earth itself. While you're struggling to find your purpose, make the right decisions, or even just feel centered, ancient humans were literally drawing answers from the dirt beneath their feet. Think about this for a moment. Every single ancient civilization, from the African shamans of the Sahara to the Chinese masters of the Forbidden Cities, developed the exact same practice independently. They all discovered that the Earth communicates, not through words, but through patterns, energy, and what they called geomancy. And here's the shocking part. They were all right. Let me take you back 4,000 years to the deserts of Arabia and Africa. Picture a tribal elder faced with a life or death decision about where to find water or whether to trust a stranger. What did they do? They knelt down, grabbed a handful of sand, and let it fall through their fingers. Not randomly, they were reading the patterns. 16 dots arranged in specific formations that revealed the Earth's hidden guidance. This wasn't superstition. This was survival technology. But here's what's incredible. While Africans were reading sand patterns, something remarkable was happening thousands of miles away in China. Chinese masters weren't calling it geomancy. They called it feng shui, which literally means wind and water. But they were doing the exact same thing, recognizing that the Earth has qi, life energy, flowing through it like blood through veins. They mapped these energy streams and built entire cities around them. The Forbidden City in Beijing, every single building placement was designed to harness Earth's power. Now here's where this gets mind-blowing. In medieval Europe, scholars weren't calling themselves fortune tellers. They called themselves geomancers, earth scientists. They studied what they called the science of the sand. Islamic scholars in Baghdad and Cordoba were doing identical practices, creating complex mathematical systems to decode Earth's messages. These weren't primitive people. These were the most advanced civilizations of their time. And they all independently discovered the same truth. The Earth is alive, it communicates, and it wants to guide you. Every geomantic system, whether it's African sand divination, Chinese feng shui, or European earth reading, recognizes one fundamental principle. The planet beneath your feet isn't dead rock. It's a living, breathing, conscious system that responds to your questions and offers guidance through patterns, energy flows, and what modern science is now calling biogeomagnetic fields. Think about your own life right now. You make decisions based on logic, emotion, maybe advice from friends. But what if I told you that every major choice, where to live, who to marry, what career to pursue, could be guided by the same earth wisdom that helped ancient civilizations thrive for thousands of years? Here's the pattern that will change everything. Whether it's dots in sand, the flow of mountain ridges, or the arrangement of stones, every geomantic system teaches the same core truth. The earth stores information. It holds the memory of every footstep, every prayer, every human experience. And when you know how to ask, it answers. Your ancestors weren't primitive. They were connected to a source of wisdom that modern humans have forgotten but desperately need. The good news, this connection isn't lost. It's waiting for you to rediscover it. Why ancient humans built giant consciousness machines? What if every mysterious stone circle, every ancient pyramid, every massive monument you've ever wondered about wasn't actually built for the dead? What if they were built for you, specifically for your consciousness, your spiritual awakening, and your ability to connect with forces beyond this physical world? Right now, as you're listening to this, there are thousands of ancient sites across the planet, humming with energy that most people walk past without a second thought. But you're different. You're here because something inside you recognizes that these places hold secrets that could transform your entire spiritual reality. Let me blow your mind with something that mainstream archaeology doesn't want you to think too deeply about. Every single one of these ancient monuments, Stonehenge, the Great Pyramids, Easter Island, Machu Picchu, they're all positioned with mathematical precision that shouldn't have been possible for primitive people with basic tools. Take Stonehenge. For centuries, people thought it was just a bunch of rocks arranged in a circle. Then astronomers made a discovery that changed everything. On the summer solstice, the sun rises perfectly through the heel stone and hits the center altar with laser precision. But here's where it gets absolutely mind-bending. The entire structure is also aligned with the winter solstice, spring equinox, and specific moon phases. This isn't a calendar. This is a consciousness amplification device designed to tune human awareness to cosmic rhythms. But wait, it gets even more incredible. The Great Pyramids in Egypt, they're not just tombs. The 3 pyramids match perfectly with Orion's Belt constellation, not as it appeared when they were built, but as it appeared 12,000 years earlier. Think about that. Ancient builders encoded star maps from a time so distant it challenges everything we know about human civilization. And then there's something that will make you question reality itself. The Nazca lines in Peru, massive drawings carved into the desert that you can only see properly from the air. Some are over 1,200 feet long. How did ancient people create precise aerial artwork without the ability to fly? Unless they weren't creating art. They were creating cosmic communication devices. Here's what's really happening. These aren't random monuments built by bored ancient people. Every stone circle, every pyramid, every mysterious line drawn across the landscape was strategically placed on what modern researchers call ley lines, invisible energy highways that crisscross the planet like a massive grid system. Your ancestors understood something we've forgotten. Location matters. Not just for your house or your job, but for your consciousness itself. They discovered that certain spots on Earth naturally amplify human awareness, enhance psychic abilities, and create direct connections to higher dimensions. The Romans had a term for this: genius loci, the spirit of place. They believed every location had its own consciousness, its own personality, its own power. And the most powerful places? That's where they built temples, monuments, and sacred sites designed to tune human consciousness like a radio dial, finding the perfect frequency. Think about your most profound spiritual experiences. I'll bet most of them happened in specific places. Maybe in nature, maybe in an old church, maybe somewhere that just felt different. That wasn't coincidence. You were experiencing genius loci, the spirit of that place communicating directly with your soul. Here's what gives me chills. These ancient consciousness machines are still working. Right now, today, millions of people are drawn to visit Stonehenge, the pyramids, Sedona, Mount Shasta, and other power spots without really understanding why. They're being called by the same forces that guided ancient builders to create these incredible structures. Your ancestors weren't just building monuments. They were building bridges between Earth and cosmos, between human consciousness and divine intelligence. And they left them here for you to discover, to experience, and to remember who you really are. The planet has a nervous system. What if every déjà vu, every gut feeling, every moment you felt mysteriously drawn to a specific place wasn't random, but your consciousness syncing with a planetary intelligence that's been trying to guide you your entire life? Your body has invisible energy lines called meridians that ancient healers mapped thousands of years ago. But here's what they never told you. The Earth has the exact same system, and it's been secretly influencing every major decision you've ever made. Right now, as you're listening to this, invisible rivers of consciousness are flowing beneath your feet, through your walls, connecting your exact location to ancient temples, sacred mountains, and power spots around the world. But here's the terrifying part most people never discover. Some of these energy lines heal and empower you, while others can drain your life force and keep you trapped in cycles of confusion and spiritual emptiness. You've been living on this energy grid your entire life without knowing it. Every house you've lived in, every job you've taken, every relationship that's either lifted you up or torn you apart, They were all influenced by your position on Earth's consciousness highway system. But here's what's absolutely chilling, and what I'm about to prove to you with evidence that will make your skin crawl. In 1921, a British photographer named Alfred Watkins was studying aerial photographs when he discovered something that wasn't supposed to exist. Every single ancient sacred site in Britain, stone circles that predate written history, burial mounds built by forgotten civilizations, holy wells that have been drawing pilgrims for millennia. They all connected in perfectly straight lines across impossible distances. Not just a few sites, hundreds, thousands, all linked by geometric precision that would challenge modern surveyors with satellite technology. But here's the part that made his hands shake. When he extended these lines across the globe, they connected to pyramids in Egypt, temples in Peru, and sacred sites in Japan with mathematical accuracy that defied everything historians believed about ancient civilizations. These weren't random lines. They were a communication network, a planetary internet that's been operational for thousands of years, and somehow every ancient culture on Earth knew how to access it. But here's where this gets absolutely terrifying and beautiful at the same time. Indigenous shamans from isolated continents, people who never had contact with each other, they all discovered the same network independently. Australian Aborigines called them songlines and claimed they could navigate across thousands of miles of desert just by following the Earth's energy songs. Native Americans knew them as spirit paths and built their most powerful ceremonies at intersection points. Amazon shamans called them the veins of Mother Earth and used them to journey to other dimensions without ever leaving the ground. They weren't just describing energy, they were describing a living consciousness that spans the entire planet. A mind so vast that individual humans can only perceive tiny fragments of its intelligence. And here's what will change your life forever. This planetary mind has been trying to communicate with you since the day you were born. Think about your own body right now. You have 12 major meridian lines carrying life energy to every organ, every cell. When these pathways get blocked, your body starts breaking down. Disease creeps in. Your mind gets foggy. You lose connection to your inner wisdom. The Earth works exactly the same way. It has major energy arteries, pumping consciousness to every ecosystem, every sacred site, every place where miracles happen naturally. And here's the conspiracy that will blow your mind. Every single ancient civilization knew exactly where these planetary nerve centers were located. Stonehenge isn't just sitting on a random hill. It's positioned at a massive energy intersection point where multiple ley lines converge. The Great Pyramid wasn't built in the middle of nowhere. It's connected to a global grid that includes Machu Picchu, Easter Island, and sacred sites on every continent. This wasn't coincidence. This was precise placement by civilizations that understood technology we've completely forgotten. But here's what's absolutely revolutionary, and what modern science is desperately trying to hide. These energy lines aren't just ancient history. They're still active, still carrying information, still influencing everything from weather patterns to human consciousness to the migration routes of animals. NASA has detected massive electromagnetic anomalies at ley line intersections. Military pilots report complete instrument failure when flying over certain sacred sites. Google Earth reveals geometric patterns connecting ancient monuments across impossible distances that official archaeology refuses to acknowledge. The most powerful governments and corporations in the world know about this system. They've been secretly building their most important facilities, military bases, financial centers, government buildings, directly on these energy points to amplify their power and influence, while keeping the general population completely ignorant about the cosmic internet running beneath their feet. You know those places that call to you? Those spots in nature where you feel more connected, more alive, more spiritually open? You're being drawn to power spots, places where the Earth's energy lines create natural vortexes of consciousness-enhancing force. Sedona, Mount Shasta, Glastonbury, the Himalayas. These aren't just beautiful locations. They're planetary acupuncture points where Earth's life energy concentrates and amplifies. Here's the part that changes everything. You don't need to travel to exotic locations to tap into this planetary consciousness network. These energy lines run everywhere. Through your neighborhood, under your house, connecting your local park to ancient temples on the other side of the world. The Earth's nervous system is always accessible, always communicating, always ready to share its ancient wisdom with anyone who remembers how to tune in. Your ancestors knew this. They lived in harmony with the planet's energy grid, placed their homes and communities along beneficial lines, and used this cosmic internet to stay connected to the greater web of consciousness that includes every living being on Earth. The lost art of Earth partnership. What if the reason you feel lost, disconnected, and spiritually empty isn't because you're broken, but because you've forgotten how to have a conversation with the planet you're living on? Your ancestors didn't just survive in the wilderness. They partnered with the Earth itself, turning mountains into vision quest chambers, rivers into healing sanctuaries, and sacred paths into consciousness upgrading highways that literally rewired their brains for divine connection. You've been taught that spirituality happens in buildings, through books, or inside your own head. But what if that's exactly backwards? What if real spiritual power only awakens when you remember how to dance with the living intelligence beneath your feet? Picture this. 10,000 years ago, a young shaman stands at the base of a sacred mountain, preparing for a vision quest that will determine the future of their entire tribe. But they're not just randomly walking into the wilderness hoping for the best. They know something you've forgotten. They know that specific landscape features, certain peaks, particular valleys, exact cave formations, act like amplification devices for human consciousness. They know which mountainside will open their third eye, which forest grove will connect them to ancestral wisdom, and which desert vista will download prophetic visions directly into their awareness. These weren't primitive people stumbling around in nature. These were master technicians of consciousness who understood that the Earth itself was their most powerful spiritual tool. But here's what will absolutely blow your mind. Medieval cathedral builders knew the exact same secrets. When they constructed Notre Dame, Canterbury, or any of Europe's great spiritual centers, they didn't just pick random locations. They sent geomantic specialists, master dowsers and earth readers, to find the precise spots where the planet's energy lines intersected. Then they aligned every stone, every archway, every sacred geometry detail to amplify and channel that earth force directly into the consciousness of anyone who entered. These cathedrals weren't just buildings. They were consciousness activation machines designed to create instant spiritual states by partnering human architecture with planetary intelligence. And here's the proof that will make your skin tingle. People still report profound spiritual experiences in these ancient spaces, even when they're not religious at all. The earth energy is still working, still transforming consciousness, still creating miracles for anyone who walks through those precisely aligned doorways. But the most incredible practitioners of earth partnership were the walking masters, monks, pilgrims, and indigenous peoples who understood that movement along sacred paths could literally reprogram human consciousness. When medieval pilgrims walked the Camino de Santiago for hundreds of miles, they weren't just exercising. They were following an ancient ley line that runs across northern Spain, allowing earth energy to flow through their bodies step by step, mile by mile, gradually dissolving ego barriers and opening channels to divine wisdom. Indigenous cultures took this even further. Australian Aborigines could walk thousands of miles across trackless desert following songlines, invisible energy paths that they navigated by listening to the earth's own music. They understood that the land itself was their greatest teacher, constantly broadcasting information about weather patterns, animal movements, water sources, and spiritual guidance to anyone who remembered how to tune in. Native American vision seekers would spend days alone on sacred peaks, not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they knew that certain mountains were cosmic antennas capable of downloading wisdom directly from the spirit world. They called it listening to the land, and it was considered the most advanced spiritual practice possible. Conscious partnership between human awareness and planetary intelligence. Here's what these ancient masters understood that we've completely forgotten. The earth isn't just your environment, it's your spiritual partner. It's a conscious being with vast intelligence, unlimited healing power, and infinite wisdom that it's desperately trying to share with anyone who remembers how to listen. Every rock formation holds memory. Every forest grove vibrates with healing frequency. Every mountain peak broadcasts cosmic information. Every river carries messages from the source of all life. But modern humans walk through this living library of consciousness, treating it like dead scenery. Your ancestors didn't just live on the earth. They lived with the earth, co-creating their spiritual evolution through conscious partnership with landscape intelligence that modern science is only beginning to understand. The earth is still here, still conscious, still broadcasting, still offering to be your greatest spiritual teacher and most powerful healing partner. Your brain is tuned to Earth's frequency. Every morning when you wake up, your brain automatically connects to a signal that's been broadcasting for millions of years. It's not Wi-Fi, it's not your phone, it's the Earth itself, pumping out an electromagnetic rhythm that your neurons recognize as home. And here's what's terrifying the scientific establishment. This discovery proves that everything spiritual teachers have said about consciousness being connected to the planet isn't mystical mumbo-jumbo, it's biological reality. You think you're in control of your thoughts and emotions, right? But what if I told you that where you are right now, the exact physical location, is actively programming your brain without your permission? Modern neuroscience has stumbled onto something that ancient shamans took for granted, your mind isn't just influenced by your environment, it's literally hijacked by it. Let me share something that happened in a research lab that changed everything. Scientists were studying brainwaves when they noticed something impossible. Test subjects in different countries who had never met each other were showing identical neural patterns at the exact same times. Not similar patterns, identical ones, like their brains were somehow linked by an invisible network. That's when they discovered the Schumann resonance, the Earth's own brainwave pattern that pulses at 7.83 hertz around the entire planet. And here's the kicker. Healthy human brains naturally sync to this exact frequency during states of creativity, healing, and what researchers awkwardly call non-ordinary consciousness. Your brain has been secretly tuning into planetary radio your entire life, but it gets stranger. Carl Jung spent decades trying to figure out why people from completely different cultures have identical reactions to certain landscapes. Why do mountains make everyone feel spiritual? Why do forests trigger the same archetypal dreams? Why do deserts consistently produce mystical visions? He called it collective unconscious, but he never understood the mechanism. Now we do. Different landscapes generate unique electromagnetic signatures that your brain reads like a playlist of consciousness states. That mountain isn't just inspiring, it's broadcasting specific frequencies that activate transcendent circuits in your neural network. That forest isn't just peaceful, it's transmitting signals that trigger ancient wisdom pathways in your mind. You've been walking through a world of invisible consciousness technology your entire life, completely unaware that every location is a different radio station for your awareness. Modern hospitals are now using this discovery to heal patients faster. They're exposing people to specific natural frequencies and watching depression lift, immune systems strengthen, and creativity explode. What they're accidentally rediscovering is frequency medicine that indigenous healers have used for thousands of years. Here's where this gets absolutely wild. Researchers studying sacred geometry, those mathematical patterns you see in ancient temples and natural formations, discovered something that shouldn't be possible. When people look at golden ratio spirals, Fibonacci sequences, or the proportions used in Gothic cathedrals, their brain chemistry instantly changes. Stress hormones drop. Feel-good neurotransmitters flood their system. Brainwaves shift into states associated with mystical experiences. Ancient architects weren't just building pretty buildings. They were constructing neural activation devices using mathematical codes that your brain recognizes at the genetic level. NASA has taken this even further, proving that changes in Earth's magnetic field directly influence human behavior on a global scale. During geomagnetic storms, hospital emergency rooms fill up, stock markets become volatile, and people report prophetic dreams and psychic experiences. Your consciousness isn't separate from planetary conditions. It's completely dependent on them. Think about this. You've probably had your most profound insights, creative breakthroughs, and spiritual experiences in specific places. That wasn't coincidence. Your brain was responding to environmental frequencies that most people encounter only by accident in our electromagnetically polluted modern world. Indigenous cultures lived in constant awareness of these consciousness-shifting locations. They didn't just survive in nature, they used natural electromagnetic environments to enhance healing, amplify intuition, and access states of awareness that seem impossible in urban environments. The Earth is still broadcasting these consciousness-enhancing frequencies. Your brain still knows how to receive them. But modern life has trained you to ignore the planet's signals in favor of artificial electromagnetic noise that keeps your awareness trapped in limited, reactive states. Science has proven what mystics always knew. Consciousness isn't produced by your individual brain. It's co-created through electromagnetic dialogue with the living planet that supports all life. Summing up, let me leave you with a truth that will change everything. You are not a separate mind, living on a dead rock, floating through space. You are the Earth itself, awakened and dreaming through human consciousness. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every moment of inspiration or clarity, it's all part of an ancient dialogue between your awareness and the planet's hidden intelligence that's been unfolding since the first human looked up at the stars. This is what geomantic consciousness really means. It's not about reading patterns in dirt or following mysterious energy lines, though those are tools in the toolkit. It's about recognizing that your mind and the Earth's mind are not two separate things having a conversation. They're one consciousness experiencing itself through infinite expressions of awareness. Think about everything we've uncovered together. Ancient civilizations building consciousness amplifiers along energy highways, sacred sites designed to tune human awareness to cosmic frequencies, indigenous cultures living in constant partnership with landscape intelligence, modern science accidentally proving that your brain synchronizes with the planet's electromagnetic heartbeat, your most profound spiritual experiences happening in places where Earth's frequencies naturally enhance human consciousness. All of this points to one revolutionary understanding. You've never been alone. You've never been separate. You've always been part of a vast, intelligent, living system that includes every mountain, every forest, every ocean, and every sacred site ever built by humans who remembered how to listen to the land. The shamans knew it. The cathedral builders knew it. The ancient architects who aligned pyramids with star patterns knew it. Even modern neuroscientists are starting to understand it. Consciousness isn't something that happens inside your head. It's something that emerges from the relationship between your awareness and the living intelligence of the planet. Here's what this means for your life right now. Every time you feel lost, disconnected, or spiritually empty, you have access to the most powerful guidance system ever created. Not an app on your phone or advice from another human being, but direct communication with the planetary intelligence that's been broadcasting wisdom for millions of years. Your challenge and your opportunity is to remember how to tune in. This week, I want you to do something that could completely shift your spiritual reality. Visit a natural place that you love. It doesn't have to be exotic or Instagram-worthy. Maybe it's a local park, a tree in your backyard, or even a quiet corner where you can see the sky. Sit in silence for at least 20 minutes, not to meditate or manifest or achieve anything spiritual, just to notice. Pay attention to how that place changes the way you think and feel. Notice if your breathing shifts. Notice if your thoughts become clearer or more creative. Notice if insights arise that weren't there when you arrived. Notice if you feel more connected, more grounded, more like yourself than you do in artificial environments. What you're doing is reactivating an ancient technology, the conscious partnership between human awareness and Earth intelligence, that every spiritual tradition has recognized as the foundation of real wisdom. This isn't the end of your journey into geomantic consciousness. It's just the beginning. Because once you start recognizing the hidden dialogue between your mind and the planet's intelligence, you'll begin seeing sacred patterns everywhere. In the architecture around you, in the natural formations you pass every day, in the geometric designs that ancient cultures embedded into everything they built. If this journey into Earth consciousness has opened something in you, if you're feeling called to remember your connection to the planetary intelligence that created you, then I need you to become part of our community of awakening humans. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of these consciousness expanding revelations. Drop a comment below and tell me about your most powerful experience in a natural setting. What happened? How did the land communicate with you? Your story might be exactly what another soul needs to hear to remember their own connection to Earth's wisdom. Like this video if it helped you see the world differently, and share it with someone who's ready to remember that they're not alone. They're part of the most incredible conscious partnership in the universe. You are the Earth dreaming through human eyes. And the dream is just beginning to wake up. Until next time, keep listening to the land. It has so much more to tell you.